Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central. CFL content for the fans, by the fans. And we have our preview coming right up here of Week 3, third week of CFL action. And a bit of an interesting start with teams really not performing to expectations and some of them exceeding expectations. Our previews that we did for the seasons have already been blown out of the water. Honestly, I feel like it's better to predict the season after at least 1 week. Because then it's like, at least like you'll see like a bunch of guys will get injured in the first week, and then also you'll get an idea of if these players mesh together rather than just having to guess, which in the CFL is very difficult with teams changing so much from year to year. But make sure you guys leave a like, share the video around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Around 60% of you haven't subscribed, so if you can do that, we'd very much appreciate it. Rick, shall we get right into it?
We shall.
So, Thursday night game, first game of the week, Montreal versus Edmonton. Where are we going to start with this, Rick? Are we going to start with the injury reports, or?
We can.
Yeah, well, it's always a good place to start. Immediately know who's probably not going to be in the lineup.
So
we don't have any
as far as
yet, right?
Yeah. No, that's tomorrow.
Okay.
Nothing as far as news for the transaction-wise except for Rambo coming back. Nothing for Edmonton, so that's a good sign. We still have Josh Archibald. Now, this is from Montreal. Josh Archibald is still out with his hamstring injury. Dante Ruffin is still out with his hamstring injury. He's a DB. Stevie Scott is available. Nick Collender, offensive line, is out. Cyrili Sandon, offensive line, he is out even though he practiced full all week. James Morgan, third string quarterback, I think.
Okay.
He is out with a back injury. Charles Rambo, again, he got married. He's back this week. And Travis Thaddeus is out this week. So you'll have Sean Thomas Erlington and Stevie Scott III as running backs this week.
And that's for the Alouettes.
Yep.
Now let's do injury report for the Edmonton Elks.
So Edmonton Elks is very small. It's only 3. Brett Boyko, offensive line hamstring, questionable. Martez Ivy, offensive line available. And then your good friend, Arkell Smith, wide receiver, the one that took that big hit.
You're talking about the one that got killed by Williams in week 1.
Yeah, out with he has a head injury, but it's listed as questionable.
Yeah, so I'm imagining it's from that hit still. He did very much take a big one there. So Edmonton will have their home opener here against Montreal. Montreal being off to a very good start. And Edmonton, not great in the sense of that they lost to BC in week 1. They lost 31-14. And the defense was not able to play quite the way that they were hoping for. Now, Trey Ford had an incredible throw where he was winding back and all over the place, this and that. But at the end of the day, Trey Ford, 178 passing yards that game, no touchdowns, only 1 interception. Wasn't much of a rushing game. I mean, as Trey Ford got 54 yards on 6 rushes, this is mostly from him escaping the pocket and grabbing some yardage. Justin Rankin and Javon Leake, not a ton of rushing yards between with either of them, even with Justin Rankin getting 7 rushes. So running game had a hard time getting going for the Edmonton Elks. So if you're Edmonton, you want to get the running game going. The receiving game was okay, although, again, they were really throwing a lot to Justin Rankin, just kind of in the flats, and then seeing him kind of rush upfield afterwards. Again, Arkell Smith looks like he might be out. So Mathis, Stephen Dunbar Jr., as well as Julian Grant are going to need to have some bigger games. Curly Gittins Jr. got 1 reception for 1 yard in that first game. I expect more. Edmonton is going to really need to try to not rely on their kicking game, as Blanchard went 0 for 2 in week 1. So kicking problems in Edmonton are very, very much apparent. And so if you're Edmonton, I'd look into the prospect of grabbing another kicker. Not saying that you don't give Blanchard another chance or whatever, but I'm saying is that I think signing someone or kind of giving someone else an opportunity as well, until you see someone able to kind of put up a good performance, is maybe what you'll be more so looking for, as those will be crucial points. For Montreal had a very good game last week against Ottawa. Just kind of a commanding win, 39-18. So you're talking about a 3-score victory, and then a pretty commanding win even over the Argos with 2.5 scores over them. And so just the Alouettes have been on a very good run so far. They've done well. Davis Alexander has been pretty solid for them, which is kind of expected in the sense of that there was some uncertainty in the sense of that sometimes when you fully hand the reins over, it doesn't work out quite the way that that you imagine. As I think a great example of this is Jake Maier, in the sense of that he kind of looked ready in a very similar way to the way that Davis Alexander looked ready for Cody Fajardo last year. Jake Maier when he was with Bo Levi Mitchell. But then when they kind of went to Jake Maier full time, it kind of like half worked. Like Jake Maier wasn't terrible, but wasn't all that they hoped that he would be. Whereas Davis Alexander, like if we look last game, 344 passing yards, 10.6 yards on average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, kind of just pretty on par there. Went 23 for 32. So Davis Alexander, a pretty decent time in that game. Was Travis Tees on the injury report? Was he injured or anything like that, or no?
Yeah, he's not playing this week.
He's not playing this week. Okay, so it looks like Sean Thomas Erlington is going to be the main guy, which is fine because for week 1 he had a good game against Toronto. He had gotten he had on 17 rushes, he had 86 rushing yards for an average of 5.1. So on the right side of 5 at least. But all in all, if you're the Edmonton Elks, that defensive line needs to put a bit more of a performance than you saw. Just the defense in general. Edmonton's a team that has a huge promise in the defense that they have, whether it's the D line, whether it's the linebacker core, whether it's having Terrell Ford on the secondary. There's a lot of defensive weapons, and Edmonton needs to learn how to use them. So. But Rick, is there anything you got to say on this one?
So thing is with Montreal's defense, in their 2 games, they've let under 20 points. So don't be expecting Edmonton to become swinging.
And that's where I think if Edmonton wants a chance in this game, they're gonna need to try to win it with defense, because offense is going to be a problem. So.
But for me, I did not hesitate when I did my picks earlier.
Yeah, to me, this is Montreal.
I picked Montreal.
Yeah, no, I got Montreal as well. I don't see. I haven't seen the until I see the evidence from the Edmonton Elks that this defense is going to be able to kind of get his crap together. And fair enough. It's only been 1 week, so if you're disagreeing with me here, that's totally fine. I just, in order for me to be able to pick them, I need to see a little bit more out of them. So, but Montreal, they've been consistent in week 1 and week 2, and so yeah, I have the Alouettes defeating the Edmonton Elks on Thursday. So then brings us to the Friday game. As Saskatchewan goes to Toronto to play the Argos. Are you going to be at this game, Rick, or no?
I will not be at this game, as I will be working, so I will be not working at this game. This is Pride Night in Toronto.
Pride Night in Toronto, nice. And then also, Just kind of, again, Corey Mace against... It's funny. It's not Corey Mace really against his former team in the sense of like last year was kind of more that. Now he's beating Saskatchewan for this now, his second year. But another year of Corey Mace versus Ryan Dinwiddie. And mind if we get the injury reports for these two teams, as I know at least with the Saskatchewan one, it is lengthy.
There is a lot of changes on this game.
For both teams, or?
Kind of more so one than the other.
Okay.
I'll start with the Saskatchewan side first, and then I'll go through
Toronto.
So Albert Awachi, fullback, he's still limited with a hip injury. Sean Bain Jr. is still out with his knee injury. Thomas Beltran Hudon, he practiced a little bit today, but he's still limited with his groin injury. Yeah. Jack Cohen, he practiced full today with his left hand injury. Peyton Collins is offensive line knee, did not practice. Did you watch the when you watched the SAS game, did you see MLS get injured?
I don't recall seeing him get injured.
Well, apparently he has a foot injury. So he did not practice, which is going to be huge.
Yeah, no, especially in that first game, Samuel MLS was the standout receiver for Saskatchewan.
But if he doesn't play this week, you can bet you everyone's going to be going for Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah. Because Schaefer Baker's still out, right?
Schaefer Baker's on the 6th game.
He's on the 6th game, yeah.
Tommy Neild is out with, or not really out, but did not practice because they have one more day of practice with an ankle injury. Braden Knoll, offensive line, he has a head injury. He full practice today. And then Koshi Awanki, DB, knee injury, did not practice.
Yeah.
So we go over to
the
Toronto
Argonauts
side of things. Atlas Bell, defensive line load management, aka healthy scratch, is how I look at it. He was a full practice today. Jack Kazar, linebacker, adductor injury. Don't know what the heck an adductor is. DeMarcus Christmas. So he's a defensive lineman.
Yep.
He suffered an Achilles injury, even though he walked off in his own power last week. He's now on the 6th game.
Yeah. Jeez, tough guy walking out with an Achilles. Jeez.
Yeah.
Achilles injury.
Darius Sirocco did not practice this week. He has a foot injury.
I will say, whenever I hear about an Achilles injury, I just think of that clip of Aaron Rodgers when you can see when the Achilles just completely snaps when he was playing for the Jets.
Devarius Daniels, hip limited.
Yeah, it's...
Sage Dockstader, offensive line, did not practice with knee. Janaring Grant is still battling his ankle injury, so chances are he won't play this week. Brian Helima, linebacker, hamstring, did not practice. Chad Kelly, leg injury, we know what's going on with that. He's not playing this week as Nick Arbuckle got all the practice reps as first string. Daniel Kwan Mu, he's linebacker, knee full practice today. Deontay McMahon, as they call it, or as he says it. Running back ankle did not practice, so news out of Toronto is that they've brought back Kevin Brown as their running back.
Oh, Kevin Brown is being brought back.
Yes, because McMahon's gonna. They say, from with what I've seen earlier, McMahon's gonna be out 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay, well, so I did not hear about the Kevin Brown signing. So,
the Wint McManus one is huge. He's been battling a knee injury, did not practice. They're saying he's out for at least 1 to 2 weeks. And then the Donald Rutledge, DB load management full.
Yeah. Yeah, and so there's going to be a few things. So you got Kevin Brown in for this game, for the running game. As it looks like, is it appearing that he'll be the starting running back, or?
I would assume so.
Okay. So if he's your starting running back, and again, like in kind of the past, he's been able to have his success. So hopefully you're able to bring some of that out. Only you remember like last game, 9 carries, 62 yards. Williams with a good average, but if you're Toronto, you want to get close to that 100 yards rushing mark. As Nick Arbuckle went 31 for 42, decent completion percentage, but he had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. It is risky throwing the ball that much. And you got DeMonte. Of receiving, like Coxie and Unger are in, but Williams and Daniels are out, right?
For
Calgary, or not Calgary, Toronto.
For which position?
Well, Williams is running back, and DeVarius is receiver.
So he'll be back up.
Yeah.
Williams will be back up, and Unger is receiver. Yeah.
Yeah. So with DeMonte Coxie and Unger, I think you're looking for a bit more there. Did they acquire Hergy Mayala?
No, they signed him for free agent.
Yeah, no, but they have Hergy Mayala.
Yes.
Did he not play last game?
They may have just
like healthy scratch.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, in 2025, it only has it listed that he's played 1 game. Like
he didn't play in the Montreal game, so maybe he's been a healthy scratch.
Yeah, so he only is listed as played 1 game. So I guess you said he didn't play for sure the Montreal game?
No. He didn't play the Montreal game. Last week he was the backup to Brissett at the slot back just beside the right tackle.
I see. But yeah, so like if you're, to be honest, I'd dress him. I would try to get some more usage out of that.
I mean, there's nothing that says that Daniels won't play. To me, there's just...
Well, he's limited, is he not?
Yeah, but there's still 1 more practice.
This is true.
My thing is that...
I still think Mayala is a good, 4th receiver, though.
Toronto has caught up with Saskatchewan and Ottawa in the injury department.
Yeah,
and we're not just talking.
But
players,
in the CFL, like you're gonna get injuries. Injuries are gonna happen. You can't just fall apart just because you know what I mean.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
injuries will happen, but this many injuries though.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying it's gonna be a hard. Like the thing is that realistically, you kind of have to deal with the hand you've been dealt with. And I'm not saying that having these injuries won't hinder your team. Obviously they will. I'm saying you're going to need to find a way to get past that. I don't you don't need to win every game, but you need to win some. No offense, there were games the Bombers were able to win when both Dalton Schoen and Kenny Lawler were out last year. When they went on that big run, did they start with those 2? No, neither of those 2 were out. Kenny Lawler came partway through that run of wins that they got and was able to help them kind of get to the top. But those first couple, there was no Kenny Lawler in sight. There was no Dalton Schoen. Dalton Schoen was gone that entire time. So it's one of those things where I guess what I'm saying here is injuries suck, but you gotta get past it.
Carter's trying to jinx a Kenny Lawler injury. We all know what he's trying to say.
No, I'm not. Hey, as much as he's not on my Bombers anymore, I don't hope for injuries. We don't do that here. But but with Toronto, Like Saskatchewan has played really well. Like obviously with Hamilton, they were able to kind of get that win with their defense in the sense of like near the end, both teams' offense was really rolling. But the question was who was finally going to get the stop? The Riders were finally going to be able to get the stop that allowed them to get the win against the Ticats. The Ticats are 0-2 right now, but I don't think that has been very reflective of their play in the sense of the Ticats are 0-2, the Argos are 0-2. However, I think the Ticats have looked a lot better in the games they've lost than Toronto has. And what I'm
Red
saying
Blacks
here,
are 0-2.
and the Red Blacks are 0-2 as well. But I think the Ticats, of the 0-2 teams in the East, I think the Ticats have put up the strongest showing. But what I'm saying here is that, and to be fair, because Argos fans will then rightly mention at the end of the day, 0-2 is 0-2, which, fair enough, that's true. But here's the thing. Saskatchewan is 2-0. So not only do you have to turn around the misfortunes you've been having, you got to kind of put a little bit of a dent into the Saskatchewan team that has been running on all cylinders. They got a lot of injuries, and they've been able to keep going with that. If Toronto is able to get some of that, they might be able to get those wheels spinning. But for me, I don't see Toronto being able to do it. I can see Toronto maybe being able to keep this game a little closer than some of the games they've had before. I can maybe see improvement in the Argos, but I think Saskatchewan as of right now looks to be the better team.
So there's already been a few things that I've seen this week just by searching online. The other day I seen a video. I forget what the name. I will have to ask our friend, but I forget. I think it's Toronto First. The group's called, and they go around Toronto interviewing fans after each sporting event in Toronto. There's a lot of people that are calling for Chad Kelly to come back already. That their season's going to be going to go down the toilet without Chad Kelly. Chad Kelly will not come back until he's 100%. Once he's 100%, then he'll come back.
Well, yeah, because
if they don't want to risk that injury,
they don't want to risk it because they know if Chad Kelly's out long term this season, that they kind of are toast.
The other thing is the whole Kadeem Carey thing. You release Kadeem Carey, you release Kevin Brown, you go with Dante McMahon and Williams. McMahon gets injured. You could have brought back Kadeem Carey, but because Kadeem Carey was signed with Calgary, you can't bring him back, so you got to bring back...
It was Toronto, not Calgary.
Well, Saskatchewan,
not Calgary. Not Toronto, not Calgary. Saskatchewan. Oh, my God. Yeah, we both got it wrong.
So he signed with Saskatchewan, so now your only alternative is to bring back Kevin Brown.
Yeah. Unless you went with Fletcher.
Kadeem Carey.
Unless you went for Fletcher, who was released by Montreal.
You could have just kept Williams as a third string. Still had Kadeem Carey and McMahon.
Yeah, but that decisions were made that made.
But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, Rick, who do you got here?
I have Saskatchewan. I'm not going near that burning ship.
Yeah, no. Last year I tried to pick a lot of upsets, and then I realized why they're called upsets in the sense of I wasn't getting very many picks right. I got Saskatchewan.
The big thing that does it for me is the whole Winton McManus injury, because they don't have like the leader in that middle linebacker, like he is.
No, that's fair. Which then brings us, should we get to the next one here, Rick?
Sure.
So we're now at the third game of the week. We got Calgary hosting the Ottawa Redblacks. Calgary 2-0 for a start. Ottawa down 0-2, looking to turn things around. Ottawa last week kind of putting up an embarrassing performance against Montreal. However, I am hearing that we might get Drew Brown back this week. Is this correct?
I mean, he was taking first reps today, so it's not. I mean, it's not set in stone because they still have 2 more days.
Yep.
They still have him listed as limited. So I mean, see how the next 2 days go first.
So it is. So it is very much a maybe. Maybe they get him back.
Yes.
I see. Can we go through the injury reports for Ottawa and then afterwards
So
Calgary?
we have for Ottawa, after we just said the Drew Brown one, we have Eric Starzella, offensive line head limited. Zach Pelhos, offensive line foot, did not practice. Sam Carson's offensive line foot limited. Nigel Romick, defensive line abdominal, did not practice. Aiden John did not, defensive line knee did not practice. Frankie Griffin, linebacker knee full. Lucas Cormier, linebacker ankle did not practice. Devon Taylor, linebacker ankle did not practice. Justin Howell, defensive back foot did not practice. DeAndre Lamont, DB hamstring did not practice. Elijah McGee, DB load management full, and then Peter Adji, long snapper, did not practice. Onto the Calgary side, we have Reggie Bangleton, most likely
He's going on the 6th game, right? Like he went out
he'll
of that game
eventually be on the 6th game. It's
because
just he's not
he went
on
out of
there
that
yet.
game in crutches. Like, so.
Yeah, they don't know how long he'll be out for. Brace Bell, did not practice. I'm not sure if they, no, they have not put him on there yet. Okay. Bryce Bell did not practice. Benjamin, running back, load management, full. Miles Brown, defensive line, shoulder, full.
Yeah.
Rodim Brown, offensive line, load management, full. Aaron Crawford, line snapper, knee, did not practice. Will Langless, fullback, full. Marquell Lee, linebacker, bicep, did not practice. Josh Love, quarterback, load management, full. Bentley Sanders, defensive back, hamstring, did not practice. Kalen St. Clair, defensive back, hamstring, limited. And Charles Wiley, defensive line, Achilles, limited. Now, do keep in mind, they did just put Aaron Crawford on the 6th game. So they brought in Jason McGogan, who they released.
Jason Voorhees.
And who?
I jokingly said Jason Voorhees,
Oh.
like Jason, like Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Other than that, let me check Ottawa. So Ottawa has added some interesting pieces.
Okay.
They've added defensive line former Bomber Anthony Bennett to the practice squad. But they also released Canadian wide receiver Ethan Jordan. And if those people don't know who Ethan Jordan was, he was the number 1 receiver last season for Wilfrid Laurier when Taylor... I'm going to draw a blank on the quarterback's name. The one that just got drafted.
By Winnipeg, right?
Or just signed with Green Bay Packers, I believe.
Oh.
Down in the States, that was at Wilfrid Laurier.
You're talking a quarterback?
Yeah. He just got
Taylor
Elgersma. Yeah, that's
Elgersma.
It. Yeah, so
and he was drafted by the Bombers.
No, but what I'm saying is Ethan Jordan was his top receiver at Wilfrid Laurier. So he was getting like a couple of 1,000-yard seasons. No, he got drafted by Edmonton, I think Ottawa late round, but then he signed with Ottawa and then got cut. So that is.
I didn't know that
Elgersma
though signed with the Packers. Damn.
Oh yeah, he signed a kind of like a future contracts, so we'll see how that
I
goes.
see.
Other than that, so the big question is Ottawa going to get their first win, or is Vernon Adams going to throw his first touchdown?
I will say,
This is the only game I have a hard time picking a winner out of.
I think this game is definitely closer. I think Ottawa has a decent chance here. So, like, here's my question: Are we thinking that Drew Brown plays this game?
Because that's the thing. Because
there's a lot riding on that.
yes, let me go double check to see what the actual I want to see what people. Okay, so Don Brennan, who he's a sports writer for Post Media, currently writing weekly picks. He says that Drew Brown was in full participation in the practice and should be good to return from hip injury, but then he's listed as limited.
Yeah, but it sounds like Drew Brown's going to be back.
Okay, then
I'll put it this way: I would understand if Ottawa went to rush him back based on the Matthew Schultz performance.
Okay, then another person said there's no confirmation yet as to who's starting in Calgary, but all signs point to Drew Brown taking the first team reps. So nothing's confirmed yet.
Nothing's confirmed, but it's looking like it's going to be Drew Brown.
Correct.
And that's where this gets tricky. Because Drew Brown, if we look at the first game that Ottawa played, 26 points they were able to put up against Saskatchewan defense. It's good defense. They were able to get a lot of points against them. Even with a lot of healthy guys. Now, Roland Milligan went down in that game. He then came back later in one of the subsequent games. But in the next game that Saskatchewan played. But he did play a decent amount. And so they were able to put up 26 points against Saskatchewan. And with Calgary, Paredes, he had his issues, but despite that, they were able to put up 29 points against Toronto. Calgary was able to win a relatively, they won by 10 points, a decent win, a good win over Toronto, which so far has been a weaker opponent. Whereas Ottawa lost a close game against a very strong opponent. Now, again, they got blown out by Montreal, but I think a frame of reference for Ottawa here is it's more accurate to look at their game week 1 against Saskatchewan because that was when Drew Brown was in. Now, to be fair, the Drew Brown being in didn't make Montreal get 39 points against Ottawa. However, were any of the Matthew Schultz picks, were any of them pick six?
Give me 1 second.
Are you able to check that?
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Because that'd be a good thing to know if the defense was generating points in that sense.
One.
They did have one? Okay. So we could chop off 7 points there. So they still got 32 points, though, on their own. This is definitely, I feel like this will be the closest game of all the games this week. What can you check what, actually, let me see here.
When is this game?
This is Saturday. Saturday.
Oh, that's gonna suck.
At 3.
So the only way I can get around this game is if I just announce. the Thursday game. Wait till Friday's depth chart comes out, and then Friday announce the rest of the pick'em picks.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out the Stampeders record at home last year. See if
at home last year, I can tell you that.
Okay, I'm actually curious. Is ChatGPT able to figure that out?
If you go to CFL.ca, just hit standings and select last year, it will tell you. They're 4-4-1.
4-4-1 at home last year.
Yeah, and Ottawa was 2-7-0 on the road. Let's see, what was it? No, we want last year, not this year. No, we want last year. I want to see, because they had to have played each other. So, okay. So, in the first game, Ottawa beat Calgary by 2.
So that would have been. You said they were 4-4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, ChatGPT could not figure that out. Because it first said that they were 4-2, and I'm like, no, because you have 9 games at home because you have an 18-game season.
Okay. So, when Ottawa, dating back to last year, Ottawa won by 3 on the road. When they played in Ottawa, they won 33-6. But you can't take that into consideration because they also have Vernon Adams this year.
Yeah, that's why I was more so just trying to figure out how good Calgary did as a whole at home.
Because I know, for example, if I take Drew Brown and he does not play, that basically just lost my perfect week for pick'ems. What did I take for pick'ems on CFL.ca? What did I take? Okay, so on CFL.ca's pick'ems, I took Calgary.
You do you do pick'ems through that?
Yeah, I do pick'ems on there too.
Oh, I didn't know that. I do not. Yeah, no, I to be honest, I'm leaning towards Calgary. I'm kind of torn as I like Ottawa could get their first win this week. They could. But Calgary's been on a roll so far.
I mean, Ottawa has the depth at receivers and has the defense.
Yeah.
But everything comes down to friggin' Drew Brown.
Yeah, and Drew Brown had played defense, not defense. He had played decent, but the problem here is that I like if I look at kind of the type of quarterback that Vernon Adams is, and the struggles that they had against Saskatchewan, and then the real struggles that they had against Montreal, I see Vernon Adams being a problem for them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
you mean for the defense? For
the Red Blacks defense, yes. So I think we're going to be looking at a Stampeders going 3-0. Look at that.
I mean, that'd make me happy because we don't want Ottawa to win on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we don't exactly want Calgary to win, as Calgary's emerging as a bit of a stronger opponent out west than we anticipated. But
I'm okay with that because that doesn't affect us.
Yeah, no, us Bombers are hoping that the points stay over in the East, but that is not the hand that we're being dealt so far.
No.
So that'll bring us to the last game of the week, which is the Winnipeg
Yes.
Blue Bombers taking on the BC Lions, the rematch of just last week. BC, the only team in the CFL so far this year with a mixed record, as everyone else is either won out or lost out. And Zach Collaros will be back for this game. And so Bombers are able to get it done with Strevler. And we actually, can we go take a look at the injury report? Because I'm curious to see what the status of Mr. Nathan Rourke is.
Let me check. Okay, so I will save that for last because there's some things that I found out. Okay, so BC Lions.
Okay, we'll start with BC. Whatever.
There is no Winnipeg injury report, so it's.
There is no Winnipeg injury report. Okay.
Oh no, sorry, I skipped it. I skipped the list.
Let's start with the Winnipeg.
You guys are on
the away team. That's usually the order we do.
So Peyton Logan is still out. We all knew that.
Yep.
Brady Oliveira did not practice. He did a little bit of practice, but he didn't practice. Trying to see. I seen somewhere saying that he could be out for a couple of weeks.
Brady Oliveira?
Yeah.
I heard he might go in the 6th game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe not serve the entire 6 games, but
after that, Mike Benson, hip injury, long snapper.
Yep.
Now with that being said, they did add Ian LaRue, who's the long snapper, to your guys' practice squad.
Yeah.
Josh Hegarty, defensive back thigh, he's a full practice. Dylan Mitchell, non-injury related, full. We have Fabian Witz, linebacker, non-injury related, full. Jamal Woods, defensive line, knee limited. Jonathan Jones, non-injury related, linebacker, full. And then Tanner Schmeckel, defensive line, non-injury related and full. Also, to add that you guys did release Reggie White Jr. the other day.
I heard about this.
And you guys still haven't brought back Jamison Sheehan from the practice squad. So hopefully no one takes him off your practice squad.
Yeah, no. So why was he sent to the practice squad?
There's word out there that they're trying to get an idea of what the ratio could be this week, but I don't know how truthful that is.
What do you mean the ratio?
The Canadian ratio, because with Oliveira out.
Oh.
So I don't know why they put him on the practice roster, but I don't know.
This is where they are right now.
Injury related for BC. Adam Leclerc, linebacker, shoulder, full. Tyler Coyle, DB, load management, full. Jermaine Jackson, wide receiver, knee, full. Tamazi Lalui, I think is how you pronounce that. I probably just butchered some guy's name. But that's how we do it here.
That's how we do it here, Rick. This is how we do our show. We butcher names like crazy.
This is defensive line, ankle, full. Jeremy Lewis, linebacker, foot, did not practice. Marcus Moore, defensive line, head, full. Gary Peters, DB, thigh, limited. Kieran Posant, wide receiver, did not practice. Maxime Roiger, linebacker, hip, full. New Yuna, offensive line ankle, and Josh Woods, linebacker full. So now the update to Nathan Rourke comes. So Nathan Rourke was listed as core injury, limited. But depending on who you talk to, Farhan saying it's still optimistic that he plays. But then he said that he took part in the BC walkthrough with the number one offense, but went to the side when full speed workout began to work with trainers. Officially limited at that point, Jeremiah Mazzoli got the first majority of team reps.
So it's
I
looking like
don't.
Mazzoli is more likely to
It's a
play.
50-50 chance. I'm sure we'll have a better idea tomorrow.
Yeah.
But even with Mazzoli as a full game, that's not going to look good.
Yeah, I mean, not that Mazzoli is terrible, but I mean, there's only one
No,
thing.
that's not going to look like if he plays, that's not. Yeah.
Like, are you saying
Everyone just might. Oh, it's gonna be another like Montreal, Ottawa week 2.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I definitely say that Mazzoli is a better, more serviceable backup than what some teams have to offer. I'll give him that. But it was one of those things where, then again, you also have to realize that the quarterback situation for BC will be getting weaker, and the quarterback situation for Winnipeg will be getting drastically stronger. As much as obviously Strevler played well last game, there's no question of who your starting quarterback in Winnipeg is between those two. And in terms of backups, I think someone like Matthew Peterson has very much. I'll put it this way: any questions about if Matthew Peterson would be able to step in if Brady Oliveira got injured? Those questions were answered last game, as Matthew Peterson just went on an absolute heater and was just he was just great. You know what I mean? He was everything that Winnipeg was hoping for him, and was very pleased with the trade that they had made for him. Thank you, Rick.
No problem.
Matthew Peterson, strong performance. I haven't heard anyone worry about Sergio Castillo, just based on like a couple misses that he made last game. I don't think that they should, because again, firstly, look at the rest of the league. I've seen a lot worse. And again, it was one of those
Brett
things.
Lothar.
Yeah. Well, I saw a thing that Brett Lothar put out an apology to fans. Is this true?
For the way that he played? Oh,
yes.
It's true.
It's true. It's actually kind of insane that a kicker has one bad game. They still win the game, and he feels the need to do that because of just how insane everything goes.
The interesting thing is, since we're on the topic of kickers, so Mark Leggio is 6 for 6, and attempts, like the extra point attempts. Sean White is perfect. Jose Maltos has only missed one field goal, so he's 88.9%, and he's made all converts. Larham has missed one kick, so he's at 80%, and he's made all extra points. Rene Paredes is 6 for 8. He's 75%. Don't ask me how 6 of 8 is 75%, but it is.
Well, 75% because because that's 3/4. 6 of 8 is 3/4. 75%.
Never mind, people.
Rick,
I will be okay.
My guy.
Listen, it's fucking 2:30 in the morning. Like, leave me alone. Rene Paredes is 6 for 6 on extra points. Castillo's only 2 for 3, so he's 66.7. He's only missed one extra point. Brett Lothar is 3 for 6. He's 50%. 5 for 6 on extra points. And then Lewis Ward is 1 for 2. 50%. 4 for 5 on extras. And then Blanchard is 0% because he hasn't made any yet. And he's 1 for 2 on extras.
Ouch. That's a you want to talk about a disappointing stat line. Yikes. But all in all, Rick, who is your pick for the Winnipeg BC game?
I am going with your beloved
I'm going Winnipeg.
Bombers.
So do we have the exact same picks this week?
We do.
All the way down?
We do.
Because we got
All the
Montreal,
way down.
Saskatchewan, and then Calgary, Winnipeg. So me and you will either live or die together this week, my friend.
Interesting note before we sign off. If you had to guess, without looking, who would you think the top 5 receivers were for yards? Keep in mind, 2 are from the East, 3 are from the West.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Okay, so of the top
Oh, what?
receivers,
No, Siri, not you, dipshit.
okay,
Rick.
the top 5 receivers for yards. 2 are from the East, 3 are from the West. Who would you think that they are?
The top 5 receivers
For yards so far.
Well, firstly, I'm imagining it's no one from Winnipeg because we played one game, and it's no one from Edmonton.
No Winnipeg people.
No Winnipeg, no Edmonton.
And no from Edmonton.
Is either Emilus or Keyshawn Johnson on there?
Okay, so Keyshawn Johnson is 4.
Okay.
Emilus is 5.
Okay.
So that leaves you 2 East and 1 West.
Is Austin Mack on there?
No. So just to put it out there, Emilus has 170. Keyshawn Johnson has 192.
Kenny Lawler?
Kenny Lawler is number 1 with 249.
Who did BC get those long bombs to? Is Keon Hatcher on there?
That's number 2.
What?
So now, number 3 is an East team.
Is an East team.
And it's not Montreal. So like that only gives you 1 of 2 teams.
So it's either Ottawa or Toronto. Is it maybe Coxie?
You are correct, my friend.
There we go. From Toronto.
Not bad, eh?
Not bad.
We'll see. We'll see how long Lawler can stay healthy, but still, he's not getting injured this week.
What?
I mean, I could see.
Oh yeah, there you go. He's not getting injured on the week he's not playing on. This is true, Rick. What a great observation.
If he keeps the pace,
I'm not gonna lie. I find it funny whenever I sometimes see your tweets because sometimes like you'll put out like the tweets of where he's just like, this man's just happy to be around. Where he's like, can't wait for the Ticats bye week so no one get injured and everyone can get a little healthier. And I'm like, nice tweet, Rick. Nice tweet.
Well, because I mean, next week we should have Wolotarski back.
Yep.
So it just makes our receiving game even better.
No,
Hopefully,
absolutely.
Stubblefield will be back. You know, so yeah, it's bye week. Everyone goes off to Never Everland, and you know, it hits their auras, and you know, meditates. And Carter's like, "What the fuck is he saying?"
Oh my goodness. But
Spend time with the family, and yes, you know, I'm tired when I'm just rambling on.
so yeah, I think that's all we got. Is there anything else you got there, Rick?
No.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys comment down below what you guys think, your guys' predictions for this coming week are. Any thoughts you guys have on the video or any of the games coming up. We're looking at probably streaming the Winnipeg BC game this Saturday. I say probably just because some stuff has come up and I just have to see exactly what it is.
Best way to say it is I would watch it for the Twitter page.
Yeah.
So
No, on our Twitter as well as our Instagram, we'll be more clear on whether
I would say if you don't see anything on Twitter from Carter, then we're recording.
Yeah. But
oh my lord.
Well, we're gonna hopefully be able to stream that game. We'll just have to see, just because scheduling and whatnot. But peace, love, positivity, all you wonderful people at home. But Rick has something to say first. Yes.
Did you know that out of there's been 8 games? There's 18 interceptions being thrown so far in 8 games.
Hold on a second. 18 interceptions have been thrown. Okay.
Yeah. So that's about 2 per team per game.
So hold on a second. 18 interceptions.
Oh no, that's less than that.
You want to know what that means?
What?
18 interceptions. No, that's about 2 per team. You're right there. That means that Matthew Schultz has thrown 16.6% of all interceptions in the Canadian Football League this year.
I mean, of those 18, Matt Schultz and Nick Arbuckle have 7.
Oh my God, they have 7 of those? Jeez.
Arbuckle has 4. Matt Schultz has 3.
Jesus. But is there
I
anything
just
else?
said, nope.
All right, well, I was going to do the outro before, but now I'm going to have to redo it because Rick had something to say. But that's okay. It was a good thing to say. Peace, love, and positivity, all you wonderful people at home. Make sure you guys like and share and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you guys are listening to this on Spotify, make sure you guys give us 5 stars. So we'll see you guys next time.